Hi everybody, welcome to my homestead and welcome to my channel. We are now done with the 2023 April General Conference, and I thought it was pretty good. So we had some temples that were announced, and it turned out not to be more than 18. Let me go back here and count this again. I counted but I already forgot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 temples. I'm going to see if I tried my best to write down the names, but I couldn't for the life of me do that. Okay, thankfully Deseret News has their thing up. All right, so this is what we got. Okay, so Retalhuleu, Guatemala. Sorry, hope you don't mind. Oh, I have San Jose up here because if you were part of that live stream, I can't remember which one it was, but I was thinking San Jose or somewhere here in the Bay Area. We were talking about this as we were discussing metro areas that could potentially have the same thing happen to them that Mexico City did for it. So we didn't really see anything like that this conference, but San Jose did in fact get a temple announced. So now in the San Francisco Bay Area, we got this one in Oakland that's been there for a long time. 13th temple of the church, or dedicated temple of the church. And now we got the San Jose. And then before that, I think it was last year that, I can't remember when it was announced, but anyway, the Modesto, California temple that was announced at least a conference or two ago. So that's really good for those that live there. And then Bakersfield is down here. I've known about Bakersfield for a while. I've never really gone to California, just one time to LA, but I've always heard about Bakersfield. And in fact, that's where my brother lives. He lives near here somewhere. So he's not a practicing member of the church, so does he care? No, but I do. Hopefully the temple being built there will help him maybe change his ways if it's not too late by then, which it probably will be. Anyway, okay, so let's go back to this. So we got, okay, Guatemala, Retalhuleu. Let's see if we can find that. Let's see, Guatemala. Which is pretty, it's already, I knew that things were kind of impressive in Guatemala lately. Okay, right now they have 2 operating temples, and then they have 2 that are under construction, one in Caban in Miraflores, and then one that's in the announced stage, Huehuetenango, or Huehuetenango, I don't know. And then, where is this place that we're talking about? I can't close out of this. I had this up before ahead of time because I knew that it was going to get the traffic was going to spike and the website wouldn't be available because that happens every conference. So let's go over to Google Maps. Let's see where that's at. Okay, so it's in the southwest part of the country. Here it is right here. Right there. Okay, so Guatemala is going to have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 temples, which is doing pretty good. That's pretty good. That is pretty darn good. Okay, and then what else? The Iquitos, Peru. And Peru's just down right here. Where is Iquitos? I'll have to look it up on this map. Iquitos, Peru. Okay, that's in the northern part of the country. right here. So Peru is going to have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 temples for Peru. And this one is like kind of more toward the Amazon. So right there. That's got to be really great for any saints that are in there, because otherwise it looks like it's a far away from Iquitos to, say, Trujillo. All right. And then, okay, I'm not going to look up everyone, but okay. Teresina, Brazil, and Natal, Brazil. I would like to see how many temples Brazil has. I know they have quite a few. I'm not gonna count those up either. I didn't even take any notes for this session. I've kind of lost energy every time. I kind of get worn out as conference goes on. So anyway, Brazil's gonna have okay, I'll see if I can do a quick count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So 20 total, it looks like, about 20. So that's pretty good. Okay, now the one there. Okay, there's a couple actually that stood out. The Jakarta, Indonesia temple, because if you don't know, Indonesia is actually the largest. It's the largest Muslim country in the world. So according to this article on Wikipedia, Indonesia is the world's 4th most populous country. Okay, number 4. It's bigger than Russia in terms of population. Russia only has 147 million. 147 million. In Indonesia has, I highlighted it down here, 277. So 147 versus 277. It's significantly larger than Russia. And I think that's something that you probably just never really think about, because on the map, Russia, land-wise, is so big. But Indonesia, fourth largest country, and it's the largest Muslim country. And then here's the breakdown of religions in Indonesia. So it's 86.7% Islam. And then the next biggest is Christianity with 10.7. And then after that, Hinduism, Buddhism, and then other things. So this is another really interesting temple, just like the United Arab Emirates temple. If we look at the meeting house locator, you can see that there's a bunch of, well, not a bunch, but there's some meeting houses down here on this island. Not so much up here. I guess there kind of is. So in Medan, but mostly on this island, the same island that Jakarta is on. And of course, that's where the temple's going to be, is in Jakarta. So this will be the first temple for this country. All these other islands. Oh, there's one meeting house here on this island. That's pretty much it. So that is pretty crazy. And then, okay, let's see. And then Hamburg, Germany. Let's take a look at that. Hamburg is up here. I'm wondering at what point Berlin is going to get a temple. We've had the Frankfurt temple for a long time, 41st dedicated temple in the church. And then, that's newer than this one, the Freiburg, Germany temple. That was the 33rd. So it's been a long time since Germany has had a new temple announced. So that's got to be really exciting for the Germans. And it's going to be up here in the northern part of the country. northern part of the country. So that is really cool. Let's see. And then we got yet another one for Alberta. Alberta already has quite a few compared to the rest of Canada. Because you can see we have this one in Quebec, and then you got Manitoba. There's one there, one in Saskatchewan, one in British Columbia. But Alberta already has three, and all three of them are already in operation. And now they're going to have a fourth one. And I think it's this one right here, Lethbridge. In fact, isn't that where Sister Nelson is from? Let's see, Wendy Nelson Lethbridge. I want to say that she said something like that in the area devotional for British Columbia and Alberta. Let's see, President Russell M. Nelson of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints smiles while speaking during an online devotional broadcast in Lethbridge, Alberta. Okay, so no, he wasn't in Lethbridge, but that's this picture right here is taking place in Lethbridge. So that was just a few months ago. Yeah, I knew it. This is what Sister Nelson said. We cannot even begin to express how grieved we are that we are not with you in sunny southern Alberta, right there in Lethbridge. No, okay, that's not it. Well, whatever. She's like kind of like from that area, if not from Lethbridge itself. I swear I heard her say it. Okay. Winchester, Virginia. Has Virginia had one yet? I think they relied on. Oh yeah, duh. They have the Richmond, Virginia temple that's about to be dedicated. Let me pull up my. I'm gonna pull up my timeline because I have upcoming temple dedications on that. It's just quicker. So the Richmond, Virginia temple is the next one up. Actually, it's going to be the 177th temple, operating temple of the church. It's going to be dedicated on the 7th of May. So you got a lot of sevens going on there with the Richmond, Virginia temple. And so now Virginia is going to have its second temple. What did it say again? In Winchester. Let's see where that's at. Winchester, Virginia. I'm assuming it's going to be in the eastern part of the state. Nope, it's up north. Okay, so it is up here somewhere. Oh, it's like way, way, way over here. There it is, Winchester. So, yeah, because up until now, up until these, well, still now, Virginia, I guess they've been having to go to the Washington, D.C. temple, but now they're going to have two of their own, one in Richmond and then one up here, not too far away from Washington, D.C. So that's pretty cool. Okay, and then Charlotte, North Carolina. I can't remember who it was, but someone in the chat was excited about that. They were hoping that there would be one in Charlotte. Wrong map. Because we have this one here in Raleigh. Yeah, we were talking about Charlotte. So cool. We were talking about that in that live stream. So now North Carolina is going to have two. And Charlotte is a large city. You can see just from the map. Okay. And then Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. When I heard that, I was thinking, is that like a significant place in church history? Like, I feel like I've heard that before. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I tried just a quick search on the church website to see if like there was any significance to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I didn't find any right away. So it looks like it's kind of like in south central Pennsylvania, essentially. Let's take a look at Pennsylvania here. So right now, Pennsylvania has the Philadelphia Temple. which is a really pretty temple. I like the architecture. And then there's going to be this Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania temple that's under construction. And then right here, more or less in the middle of the state, there's going to be the Harrisburg temple. So that'll be Pennsylvania's third. So that's exciting. I'm actually, oh yeah, Springfield, Missouri. How did I skip over that? I'm not exactly sure where that's at. There it is. Springfield, Missouri. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, that's in that's in southwestern Missouri. And actually, I think Fort Leonard Wood, where I went to basic training, is not too far from there. Let's see. Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. Oh yeah, it's not super close, an hour and a half away, but that would have been like the closest kind of like populated area or like larger city in Missouri. So that's really cool. So, I mean, that's actually, I mean, how far is it from Wichita? Because maybe we'll go there sometime. 4 hours. Interesting. Okay. So there you have it. Let me jump into the chat. Let's see what everybody's saying. So, okay. Doug Wheeler, it says Wendy Nelson was born in Raymond, Alberta. Teresa Lane, how many temples are in state capitals? I don't know, but I know it's probably quite a few. Lori Carother is so excited for the Bakersfield, California temple. What a blessing from God. Zybarth says, did Elder Featherstone prophesy a temple in Charlotte? Ooh, that kind of rings a bell. That rings a bell. I think so. Then Jay, I served my mission in Springfield, Missouri in the years of 78 and 79. Cool. Then that's huge for you. That's awesome. That's what I experienced 2 conferences ago in the April 2022 General Conference. I served in the Spain Barcelona mission, and then they announced the Barcelona temple. And actually, this is kind of cool too, because in that same conference, they announced the Austin, Texas temple, which would have been our temple if we had stayed at Fort Hood. It would have been our closest temple. So that made me happy. And now this one, there's a temple going in. It'd be the closest temple to where I went to basic training at. And then we got Virginia, because that's where I went to AIT at. So it's really cool. It's like, for me, it's Army temple happiness. Clutch 4T4, Fort Lost in the Woods. Yep, that's what we called it, and literally experienced that with a Army Ranger drill sergeant. It was his fault. Courtney Sanford, I was married in the Philly temple and absolutely love it. My stake is districted to the DC temple, but we are so happy to have a temple here in the capital region. Crochet Mama, lost it. We're hoping to get a temple in Cape Girardeau soon. It would still be an hour and a half for me, making it the same distance as the St. Louis, but still excited to think about. Cool. Tim Washington, yeah, our open house for the Bentonville, Arkansas temple is in June. Now we're getting another one near that in Missouri. Probably another hour and a half away from the one that's about to complete. Yeah, that's cool. I was actually thinking about you too. They've been watching the channel for a long time, and for them, they're in like that northwestern Arkansas area, kind of like over here. So they're going to have, there's this one that was already announced, the Bentonville, Arkansas, and now there's going to be this one right here in Springfield. So that's really cool for people that live in that area. Oh, oops. I got to show you. Here's Bentonville. So here's Arkansas. So they live up in this area. So there's the Bentonville, and then the Springfield is just right over there. So that is great. Joni says, now we're just waiting for the Independence, Missouri temple to be announced. Yeah. Now here's the thing. I was impressed by how much New Jerusalem talk there was this conference, and also how much Enoch talked, because Enoch is tied to the idea of the center place of New Jerusalem, because it's going to be joined together, the city of Enoch as well as the city of New Jerusalem. So Elder Bednar, he was talking about Enoch, and again, I didn't take notes, unfortunately, for this. So if you guys have notes that you took, feel free to put it in the chat, and we can go over that. But this conference, I already thought that in previous conferences they were really hitting on the idea of avoiding contention and becoming one. But man, this conference, I feel like the overall, like the two, there's like two kind of like main overriding or overarching themes. One was we need to focus on Easter and Palm Sunday and Holy Week. We got to make Easter our highest point of celebration during the year, which is so like interesting to me because it never has been up until this point. It's always been a special day. It's been talked about in general conference, but this is like this is a big change in the church. There wasn't any like new programs. There wasn't anything like that crazy, but this kind of is crazy because it's a little bit more than just like, you guys, we need to be more spiritual during Easter. It was like, no, we need to actually have new traditions. We need to do new things. This is going to be a thing going forward. So that was kind of like a big thing this conference. And then the second overarching theme is becoming a Zion people and avoiding contention. And that goes along with creating Zion. Zion is one of heart, one of mind. We talked about in I think it was the last live stream. Chris promised us, a final warning, and I do think that was delivered. I do. I think that everything that was said in these today was kind of a final warning, especially from President Nelson talking about the need to avoid contention and to civilly, talk to others respectfully, civilly, putting just all that stuff that we already talked about. So I see all this as big. I think it's been a big conference, and it's going to be really fun afterwards to go through and dissect everything, look at the footnotes, and then kind of process all this stuff in our minds. But I think that this was pretty big. I really do. Sherry Link, where was the global choir that was supposed to sing? I guess they were mixed in with them. They're. Oh, okay. Jenica says that they were mixed in. Cynthia Torres, Easter should be an anticipated holiday like Christmas. Like one of the talks said, without Easter, there would be no Christmas. Yep. Christian Fire Poppy Bednar, quote, if we abide in him, he will abide in us, become new creatures in him. Have ye spiritually been born of God? Fire. Sean Romack, Elder Featherstone on temples in the South, quote, the Atlanta temple is the first temple in the South. I can see temples in Charlotte, Columbia, Birmingham, Jackson, Nashville, and in Louisiana and Arkansas. Okay, so there you go. He said that he could see a temple in Charlotte, and lo and behold, it is coming. GMC Concord, 3rd Nephi was mentioned several times in this conference weekend. Oh yeah, more than just several times. Like that was like another thing. That kind of went along with the idea of increasing our celebration of Easter and to read that as part of it. Like how we read from the New Testament around Christmas time and Luke and stuff, the traditional Christmas story. They'd like us to do the same thing using the Book of Mormon and also the New Testament. Let's see. Denjay, the global choir individuals were there present in the choir. The camera focused on them. Okay. Uh, Dan L says, I feel this conference was a much needed call to repentance to the church, our prophet issuing the same invitation that was given prior to Christ coming. Oh, yeah, and it was interesting how he said, it was President Nelson, right? He talked about 3rd Nephi, and then he read what the Lord said to the people just before his appearance. Was that Downey jokes? I don't know. I should have taken notes. I was tired. I was tired. Somebody said that though, and that's I feel like that's like a little hint as to where we're at. We're in that stage. Okay, Down H. Oaks, President Oaks talk. I've never seen anything like that before. He basically was just speaking the Savior's words. So in that sense, the Savior was there with us. You know, his words were there coming through Down H. Oaks, his actual words as recorded in the Bible and in the Book of Mormon. I thought that was really unique. I haven't quite seen anything like that. His entire talk was basically just quoting the Savior. You know, uh, that kind of makes me feel like, he's even more present and maybe closer than before as far as the second coming goes. Um, Creative Gene, I think we still have many years to go to get ready for his coming. I keep thinking it's really close, but we aren't ready at all, I feel. I don't know. They sure are talking about it a lot. And President Nelson said that time is running out, so I don't know how many years can go by for that to still work. Ashley Sanar, I love when President Nelson said before Christ appeared to the people to return to him, so he can heal you, and that is what he extends today. Hopefully, before he comes now. I've been praying for 40 years for a temple in San Jose. I'm beyond excited. That's really great. I wish I knew how many members of the church were there. I guess we can look at the meeting house locator. Let's look at that. San Jose, San Francisco Bay Area. I mean, it seems like there's quite a few. Yeah, there's a bunch down here in San Jose. Sacramento's up here, and Sacramento has a temple, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Yeah, it just kind of makes sense to me that they would have announced that. I wonder where the next California temple will be. And then there was Bakersfield down here. Cool. All right. Ruby Red, Elder Razband spoke about filling our buckets with oil. Yeah, that's right. I feel like that was like another warning. That was another big warning, um, to make sure that you have oil. Deanna Anderson, the things I heard from President Oaks were second one half of the Sermon of the Mount and part of it reiterated in the Book of Mormon. From Elder Bednar, the parable of the 10 virgins. Oh, was it Elder Bednar? I thought it was Elder Razband. um, the Haystack says President Nelson just released an Easter statement. What, today? Just now? Let me see if I can find that. Easter statement. Where did you find that, Haystack? Is this it? No. LDS Church Newsroom. Let's check there. Oh, President Nelson shares Easter message in new video. So I won't be able to play that here, but maybe after this, go check that out. Or check it out now and then come back. Maybe somebody do that and then let us know what is said in there. Latter Day Help says it's on YouTube as well. Deanna Anderson says it was Raz Band. Yeah, he was the one that was talking about oil and the 10 virgins. Laura P, a lot of repetitive concepts. Peace I leave with you. Alma 5 conversion. Spiritually born and converted. Blessed even as we endure the difficulties we'll pass through. Ask, seek, knock, etc. AR, I live in Hamburg, Germany, where one of the new temples will be built. Oh, congratulations. You're not going to have to go to one of those other ones anymore. Hopefully they'll be able to build it as soon as possible. With our Wichita temple, we're still waiting for a location to be announced, unfortunately. Jay Kennedy, the Lord's time to come is fixed. It's up to us to be ready for that time. I feel that's what today was about. Get ready now, get over yourselves now, unite now. Some time left, but not much. Yeah, I would totally agree with that. I do. I totally agree with that. Feels like it was a lot of like just final reminders. Just like President Nelson said, he repeated it several times. Now is the time for this. Now is the time. Now is the time. Now is the time. It was a big thing about we need to come together, be Zion, be united. Lots of talk about New Jerusalem and Enoch, the 10 virgins. So, yeah. Following Jesus Christ through the scriptures. I was in a lot of pain once, and my dad gave me a father's blessing. He said that my pain would get better according to my faith. I worried that my faith was not sufficient. My pain left in an instant. Wow. That's an amazing happening. Lois Leonard, President Nelson said nearly a conference ago that we just don't know how close we are to the second coming. Elder Suarez as well. This is not a criticism, but it's curious. Okay. Lean on Christ. I love the fourth day. Okay, I loved the fourth day will come. I loved the fourth day will come by Elder Bassett, so powerful about bringing Lazarus back from the dead. Take away the stone, arise and come forth, loosen him and let him go. Yeah, that was a pretty neat talk. Some things that I hadn't thought about with that story. RU4 repeat 2. King Benjamin is talking about Christ coming in Mosiah 3:5. He said, "For beyond the time cometh, and it is not far distant." Yet that was still 125 years away. I mean, all right. Aaron Pena, another great third Nephi message reminded. Kara Hatch, clear call to not only come follow him, but also walk the path of discipleship. Many talks asked us to rise up to a higher, holier way. Yeah, that was like, that phrase has already been used quite a bit in previous general conferences, but this one, it was all over the place, as well as the terms fallen world and fallen condition. More so fallen world. Skyrush Productions, my town got a temple. I'm so excited. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, I'm so happy. Prayers answered. That's awesome. Congratulations. Rod Turple, she's from Redmond. Goblin, the Cedar City Temple is the closest operating temple to St. George right now, and the next closest is Las Vegas. But I'm excited to the St. George and Red Cliffs temples. Kristen Buck, I can't seem to find the Easter message. Well, just go to the church news, or go to the church newsroom. I'll bet they put it on the main church website too. No. Let me see if I can find it really quick on YouTube. Probably just on the church's official YouTube channel. Yeah, it's on the church's official YouTube channel. They have it as the trailer right now, and it's called "Forgiving Others," an Easter message from President Russell M. Nelson. Okay, Green Tree, early 2030s maybe. I don't see it being later than that. We might have to endure the fourth day, as it was spoken. Linda Martinez, I can see Elder Corbett being put in as a possible apostle one day if we lose a lot of them. Lean on Christ. I also loved Elder Stanfield's talk on the imperfect harvest we provide, but we need to remember that it is through Jesus Christ, the perfect harvester, that our loaves and fishes can be multiplied. The Haystack says the Easter message is the story he shared last year. GMC Concord, Easter message from Russell M. Nelson, forgiveness. He speaks of the Savior forgiving his tormentors while hanging on the cross, and we can forgive too. He spoke of a personal situation in his life. Skyrish Productions, I've been following you since the last general conference, and I love your faith and that you support the church and like to speculate. Yes. Thank you. I do like speculating, but not pushing speculation as though it's true. I think it's okay, just like Bruce R. McConkie said in Millennial Messiah, it's okay to think about possibilities as long as you're stating it as such and you're not like crossing that line where it's like, you know what? No, that's true. No, I thought about it really hard and that's true. Okay. GMC Concord. So the message, where'd it go? Okay, so the message is all about that we can forgive like the Savior. It is a sweet message and a great personal story. Yeah. El Paculi, but he answered and said, verily, I say unto you, ye know me not. Joseph Smith translation makes a world of difference in the story of the 10 virgins. The Haystack, if I were a superhero, I'd be the speculator. Justin Fennis, President Nelson wants us to study two messages, the account in 3rd Nephi, and also this Easter's lead up to the resurrection. Love it. So, does anybody have ideas yet of what you're going to do for Easter going forward as we honor, the leadership's request to treat it more like Christmas? Do you have any traditions in mind or things that you're going to do? Has anyone been inspired to produce any artwork or anything like that? Because I am just drawing a blank. I would like for there to be lights. I wouldn't mind having Easter lights. In fact, those Christmas lights that are like pink and orange and yellow and blue and green? I've always thought like those are Easter colors. Why are we putting that up for Christmas? Like have those be Easter lights. Maybe that's what we should push for, is put up those lights for Easter or something like that. If we have to stick to the pastel colors, let's do new lights and light up our houses for Easter and have it be like, Easter colors like purples and pinks and greens and stuff like that. J. Kennedy, there are many good souls among the saints. These reminders/warnings are for those who need to solidify their focus once and for all. President Nelson's example of the angry surgeon, vow to shun contention. Yeah. Daniel Werner was born in Harrisburg. GMC Concord, the personal story was when he operated on a couple of girls and they died, and the family did not forgive them did not forgive him for 6 decades. Then finally did. That'd be such a hard thing to go through. Let's see. Bev Strong. There's a temple in Halifax, Nova Scotia as well. And as you said, Alberta is getting a 4th. Keep up the great. I lost it. Keep up the great job you are doing. Thank you. Melissa Werner says, I want to bake a lamb cake. What is a lamb cake? What is a lamb cake? It's a little concerning, I feel. Maybe not. Would it be like a meatloaf, like with lamb or something like that? Or a cake shaped like a lamb? My Jewel said, I'm producing a chicken coop. Does that count? For celebrating Christmas, Easter? I guess. Sure. Andrea Packard, maybe an Easter tree. Bring a branch from a tree outside and decorate it for Easter with ornaments reminding of the events of the week. Sadly, I think one thing that really, really makes Christmas popular is getting presents under the tree. And I'm not suggesting that we do that for Easter, but gotta come up with something. Andrew Packard. Oh, okay. Thank goodness. Cake in the shape of a lamb, maybe. Yeah. Kiara Guyman. My kids are little, so I printed out little pages for them to color every day and read a little. The church site has Holy Week stories for each day. I'm sure once they get bigger, we will include temple. Another thing that Christmas has going for it is you have like special, like holiday time cookies and snacks and treats and stuff like that. Christmas has so much tied to it, from food to activities to aesthetics to decorations and stuff like that. I just don't know how you make Easter compete with that. I'm not saying that it's not possible. Obviously it is. And I think that if we all try, we can do that. But it'd be great if somehow Easter could just be just like Christmas. And I'm not just talking about, like the superficial things, but Elder Stevenson did call for those things. I think it has to be both us on the inside focusing on it more on a spiritual level, but also aided by things like decorations and songs and whatever. Jay Kennedy, I'm decorating my home with palm leaves, not eggs from now on. My kids are grown. Palms are a great symbol and reminder, and beautiful. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, that's really neat. Delise Music. I was thinking of doing a meal like the Last Supper on Good Friday on Easter, an appropriate celebration of the resurrection. It'd be really neat to this would maybe they would be against this, but it'd be neat to kind of like do the Passover meal, because it would be a reminder of how Israel prepared for Christ, and then of course it would be a reminder of Christ being the Paschal Lamb. So maybe like doing the Jewish Passover Seder, maybe not doing it the same way that they do, but something like that. That'd be really neat if like suddenly, the Jews hear that we have our own type of like Passover celebration, but like we're focused on Christ, and I don't know. Cheryl L. Deseret has, I'm assuming you mean Deseret book. Deseret has a Easter scene like the Nativity, except for Easter. It's pretty cool. By Emily Bell Freeman. I'm going to see if I can look that up if they have like a picture of it online. Give me a second. So Emily Bell Freeman is an author. Dang, I was hoping that you would have a picture of that. Let me go to the Deseret Book website. Maybe they like have that up. Mm, yeah. All right. Well, anyway, cool. Thanks for letting us know about that. That sounds pretty neat. Um, Christ-centered Easter crochet. Let me search crochet. Oh, this must be it right here. And I like that. Yeah, look at that. Christ, Christ-centered Easter crochet. Oh yeah, by Emily Bell Freeman. So this is the one. This is it right here. Yeah, that's neat. What's that supposed to be? What is that? It's two people holding poles. Like I don't know. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I would buy that. I wonder if like it'd be okay to do a little bit more cross imagery, kind of like what it has here, if we're going to be focusing on the Easter story, because you could do all sorts of interesting things with crosses, maybe even similar to Christmas trees. You know, here in Kansas, there's like crosses all over the place, and there's this one house in town where they pretty much always, I think they always throughout the year they have a cross that's up, and it has kind of like these um, warm yellow or warm white Christmas lights that are like around the outline of the cross. But no, instead of a cross, maybe there something like this, like the shape of Christ, or like maybe you could do like a well, just like this, kind of like a tomb type scene where Christ is coming out of the tomb, just like the church symbol. Okay, John Organ, follow the story the entire week, and remind the family what happened on each day as it happened, and this will build up to the Easter day resurrection. It's probably a good idea to do that because as we're like starting out following this direction from the church, they're providing the way to do that with the Liahona, and it'd be neat if everybody did that every year. Cognitive resonance. The very name Easter comes from a pagan goddess, another concession of the Great Apostasy. I wouldn't mind renaming the holiday entirely. Me neither. Why not just go back to calling it first fruits? That's what it is. It's the part of the Jewish feast days, the Moedim, the appointed times is first fruits. Let's call it first fruits. And I think the very first fruit that was presented at the temple as part of first fruits was barley. What is barley good for? Is it good for anything other than beer? I don't know. I'm not a food person. That probably sounds just ridiculous to some people. Let's see. What foods use barley? Are there like breads that use barley? Uh, Barley can replace rice in stir fries, curries, risottos. It's a common ingredient in soups. Here, let's just go to the full thing. Um, Barley bean and corn salad, barley jambalaya, barley risotto, breakfast barley. There's no picture? Sorry, everybody. I just got to see this. I could probably eat that. Well, anyway, maybe something like that. Ooh, that. Oh my gosh. That looks really, really good right there. Barley salad with roasted chickpeas and feta. Oh, okay. No, this is the chicken barley soup. And that doesn't look bad either right there. I would. Oh my gosh. Hey, honey. Hey, honey. I'll have to save this page because this is kind of making me hungry. Some of these things. That looks good. That looks good. Minus the mushrooms. I'm not a big mushroom person. So anyway, that could be a thing. Recognizing the observance of first fruits, in Hebrew bikurim, and eating that in remembrance of Christ being the first fruit. Egyptian barley salad. Honey? Dang it, where is she? Okay, I'll just show her later. Okay, let's go back. Trevor Stevens, I was really hesitant to start my podcast or my products like the Christus because I didn't want to be making money on something like the golden calf. No, man, look, there's always this lingering thing about priestcraft. What you're describing is priestcraft. Okay, LDS priestcraft, church or CES. I'm going to show you something, okay? I think this is it right here. Oh yeah, this is it. The dangers of priestcraft. So look, I do my channel, I monetize it. You know why? Because of this. Priestcraft is something that is in your heart. So, oh sorry. This is it right here. Priestcraft, according to this, which contains multiple quotes from apostles and prophets, they define what priestcraft is. Priestcraft is if you're setting yourself up as a light. So say that you love the attention, you think that you're just amazing, you're doing it for reasons other than to help the children of God come closer to Christ. That's priestcraft. It can include money. If you're just doing something solely because you're making money, that would be priestcraft. But this is on the church website. It explains the entire thing because occasionally you have like they tell a story in here about there was a seminary teacher that was thinking about quitting because he felt like he was engaging in priestcraft. And dang, I wish I could easily. Yeah, look at this from Elder, at the time, Elder Spencer W. Kimball, who was then a member of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles, who gave the best explanation I have heard. Quote, I want our youth never to be taught by mercenaries. Should any of you be teaching in this program merely as an occupation, almost wholly for the compensation, then I hope you will be assigned to one of the other areas. But if your salary is incidental and your grand and magnificent obsession is our children and their growth and development, then I hope you'll be teaching in New York and Michigan and Wisconsin and Utah, where my loved children are. So I'll put this in the chat. This issue always comes up. Wait, what am I doing here? This issue always comes up from time to time, and it's really silly. If you making art or photography or even doing a podcast and making money from it is priestcraft and it's wrong, then Deseret Book would not even exist. This is Deseret Book. It's owned by the church. Deseret Book is owned by the church. And it is full of members who make different products, from books to pieces of art, rings, you know. Let's see, all categories, art and home. Let's go with statues because that's what you were talking about. Let's do marble statues. The church owns this. They are selling this, and these are produced by different people. This one's produced by Virgil Ortel or Orel. Oh, here's a good one. Look at this. This would be a good Easter piece to celebrate Easter more. You have a tomb right here. I think that's pretty good. Okay. Yeah, this is from Virgil Ortel, whatever. Oh, honey, by the way,
What?
I think that we should potentially eat some of this stuff. These are recipes that include barley.
Uh-huh.
Do they sell barley at the store?
Yeah.
So there's like, look at that.
Why do you want barley?
Well, I was talking to them about, we're talking about different ways to celebrate Easter. And like one thing that Christmas has is it has like unique food and treats and stuff like
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
And so because Easter comes out of first fruits, the first fruits that were delivered to the temple was barley. That was like the
Great.
first fruit. And so maybe by eating like barley type things, that's like a way that you could celebrate Easter. But like there's that right there. That looks really good.
I used to have a recipe for a white chili that used barley. It was really good.
Yeah, look at this right here.
Yeah, it looks good.
Barley. Anyway, there's like a bunch of different things here, but I want to save this. Maybe we could like it seems like a lot of this stuff is healthy too.
Yeah. Okay, go back to your viewers.
Okay.
Hi, everybody.
Caritzi, Michael McLean's The Garden. The Garden will do for Easter what the Forgotten Carols has done for Christmas. Tim Luong, yeah, everything in the Book of Alma to light bulb. Yeah. Here, I'll go back to this. Amber Hardy, Emily Bell Freeman was also called this conference as the new General Young Women's president. Oh, it's that Emily. Oh. Bob Werner, talk about the Holy Ghost and being connected. Melissa May Liebert, that is the one I really liked. Goblin says, I have a Christus statue that is about 20 inches. Let's see. Following Jesus Christ through the scriptures, ancient grains are also excellent. Caritzi 4, we eat lamb for Easter, not ham. Man. Now, here in our household, we don't eat a lot of like pig products, mostly because I just don't like them, except for bacon. And sometimes I like pork enchiladas or things like that. But I don't think I've even tried lamb yet.
I don't like it.
You don't like it? Maybe it just wasn't done right.
I got it at a fancy restaurant. It was, I don't know.
Lean on Christ says figs, olives, and lamb would also be a good one. Yeah, I think so too. Melanie Hessler says, I just love your wife.
Thank you.
She says, thank you. Andrea Packard, yes. Same question as Lorraine Moore. Is there a way we can see the chat after this live is over? Yeah, I have the option clicked. As part of the setup on this, I can choose to like allow the live or the chat to be viewable afterwards, like the chat replay. So yeah, but it doesn't let me do that when I'm on my phone for some reason because whenever you're on the mobile version of something, there's like less options and stuff. So when I'm on the desktop, it lets me select that. Trevor Stevens, thanks, Jared. That helps a lot. The Spirit was pushing me forward, so I kept going. Haha. Yep. Just read that article, man. There are people out there that are like actively persecuting people for priestcraft when the church itself put out this thing, and it depends on what you're doing. Basically, are you just like someone that's taking advantage? You know, you're not the real deal. If you like really love what you're doing and you're doing the best that you can, and you're doing it because you're consecrating your time and talents to the Lord, you're good. But if you're someone that's just like, I think I can make some money here, or like you're a narcissist and you like to get attention, and that's why you're doing a podcast or a movie or a book or whatever, then that's priestcraft. So it's very much something that's in the heart. It's between you and the Lord. Carrie Taylor, is there any way to post all the chat like we do comments to read later? Curious, love to read, but but they go so fast live. Yeah, you can just come back to this after we're done with the live stream. Well, actually, or I think if you just like you rewind on the live stream, like rewind, um, it'll go back to where the chat was at the time that you go back to. So you can do that. Um, James Anderson, have seen chats for YouTube videos on the mobile version. No, but what I'm talking about is like the replay, like after the chat's over. I don't think it keeps the chat for you to view later. Um, anyway, I hope that makes sense. I don't know. Latter-day Help. How do we know if we truly know Jesus Christ? Um, well, honey,
Okay, okay.
um, look, when you keep the commandments and you have the desire to follow his teachings, you love him, right? Because that's who he is. It's not like you're getting to know his favorite color or his favorite sport or like things like that. It's what he is, what he symbolizes, and what he did for you. So obeying the commandments and loving the commandments, realizing the good that they do for you and for others, and then also being grateful for his sacrifice and his role, because it's really sad that anyone was asked to do this and had to do this. We don't know all the ins and outs of the atonement, exactly how it works, its infinite nature, but I know that it's to answer the demands of justice, right? That's why it had to happen. But still, I don't quite fully understand. But he was asked to suffer for every single creation of God, all of God's children, both on this world and on other worlds. And that is a mighty heavy thing to have to do. And it's really sad. And so when you care about Christ and you appreciate what he did and you feel bad for your part that you added to that, even though none of us are going to be perfect in this life, I would say that you love Christ. But what he said is, if you love me, keep my commandments. So that's what you do. You keep the commandments. Jay Kennedy, replacing art slash pictures on walls in the home during the month of March/April would be nice. The tomb, the cross, the Last Supper, palms, the gate, more pictures of Christ, just to have more focus. Yeah. I think there has to be a shift from the rabbits and chicks and stuff like that, because I feel like that it's too not, and I'm not saying anybody do this, you don't have to do anything extreme like this, but if there was to be a true change in the way that we view Easter, I feel like the rabbits and chicks would have to go, because it's too attached to the old tradition. Maybe there's a way to incorporate it, I don't know, but I feel like some of the aesthetic of Easter has to change. It not just simply um not just simply more Christ like imagery like that's a part of it, but I feel like you have to do more new things. Like you have to like revamp Easter, because again, when you think about Christmas, you have all this different imagery that really adds to the season. Things like, like buffalo plaid, you know, um, things like snow. Honey, what are all the things that you like with Christmas? The things like, you know,
Music, lights, fireplace,
fireplaces,
shopping,
the magical feel of it, um,
shopping.
the busy. I don't know. It's complicated, but it's got to happen somehow. Tina Hall, yes, hot cross buns are an Easter tradition in UK. Cool. Maybe that's something that we need to do. I don't even know what that looks like. Hot cross buns. Okay, these are hot cross buns. And they look good. And look, honey, Pioneer Woman has a recipe.
Yay!
Hot cross buns are a traditional Easter dish featuring a spiced dough cross and orange icing. Uh,
Oh, it's got a cross.
this is one of our favorite bread recipes. Well, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay. Hot cross buns. Uh, Zybarth says our temple has rabbits too. Carrie Taylor, I think keep the rabbits and chicks, but incorporate Jesus' resurrection, which is the reason we gave all these beautiful things. I mean, maybe, but I don't know. We'll just see what happens. If it was up to me, I would get rid of like the Easter baskets and stuff. I don't know. I just feel like that really takes away from it. Trevor Stevens, it's true. You need to be paid to survive in this world, so try to do your best and create high value products for the price. That's the goal. Yeah, and I say like if it's someone like you're making some kind of product and it's religious in nature, just obviously do it because like yeah you have to be compensated for your work, but um just think about all the people that benefit from having beautiful photos of the temple in their house or statues or paintings or whatever. Yes, those people are being compensated for their work, but at the same time they're doing something more than just making money. They're doing something that comes out of the heart, that's going to bless the lives of others. Heidi Summers says empty tomb rolls. Are you talking about like or something to eat, like that kind of
Yeah, they're
roll?
like rolls with you put a marshmallow in it and you bake it, and then when you eat it, the marshmallow's melted, so it's empty.
Oh, okay. Uh, let's see. Are you for repeat to rebirth for the resurrection? Decorate with budding plants and baby animals. Victoria nuts in Easter carols, more Easter themed music. Andrea Packard, if anyone will figure out how to celebrate Easter on a grand scale, it'll be us. Have no fear. Lorraine Moore, have Easter scripture written in calligraphy, lettering. I love it. Also, a painting I saw in Paris of Peter and John running to the sepulcher. Decorate Christ. Latter day Help. I feel like Santa and the Easter Bunny distract from Jesus Christ. I personally think it would be better if we got rid of them. See, that's the thing. I guess I'm just kind of biased toward Christmas because I it's a hard situation because I like Santa Claus, but you have like this culture, especially among secular people, where they disassociate Christmas from Christ and just focus on all the other frilly things like Santa Claus and holiday shopping. Like one song I don't really like, I like it but I don't, is that Mariah Carey song, the All I Want for Christmas Is You, because the feeling of it, like the beat and the sound of it, it sounds like you're like, it's like a good song for when you're out Christmas shopping and you're kind of like in a hurry and a bustle, but all that kind of like distracts from Christmas and its true meaning. And so, but that's like the kind of stuff that people that aren't Christian that celebrate Christmas, like that's, it's like they've replaced the true meaning of Christmas with these other things, you know. Um, there's like what's that girl Chloe something that sings? Huh?
No, not Chloe. Um, from she. I can't remember now.
You don't remember?
From Elf.
Yeah, her name's not Chloe.
It's not Chloe. It's
Zoe.
Zoe Deschanel.
Zoe. How do you spell dash? Oh, here it is. It's like Zooey. Um, this girl right here, you recognize her, right? She's the one. She was in Elf, and uh, I guess like she like actually really does like Christmas. She put out this Christmas album where she sings all these Christmas songs, and it's in a really good style. It's very homey, kind of folky, kind of just whatever. But the problem is that the only songs that she sings, they're all Christmas songs that don't have to do with Christ. So if there's any like religion, so she does like the what does she do? Jingle bells.
Jingle bells. You have me put on the spot.
It's just okay. Jingle Bell Rock, isn't that?
Yeah, Jingle Bell Rock. The Beach Boys song. Have I don't know.
Okay, so just all the like Christmas songs that don't mention Christ, like that's the only ones that she sings because she's probably uh anti-Christian or something.
Winter Wonderland. One thing I was thinking they could do nativities, but for the empty tomb and then the apostles and Jesus Christ out of the tomb.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Okay. So anyway, White Willow's Academy. Many Christmas things at first glance seem worldly and distracting until you research the actual Christian symbolism to them. Easter had many as well. Just research the Christian symbolism to them. Yeah, but the problem is like you shouldn't have to research something. It should be just like obvious. And that's kind of like a problem with it. So either you have to like make that symbolism more obvious in some way or just change it out for something that is obvious. Maybe, maybe not. Grimace, both my children left the church at 13 and 14. I think I'll write them my testimony of the Savior and put it in their Easter baskets. Well, I hope that works. Constance Alexander, my grandchildren and I make holiday themed terrariums. This year we made a terrarium with an empty tomb in it that we made from modeling clay. Oh yeah, Zybarth, Baby It's Cold Outside. That's one that she sung that in Elf. Mrs. Chef Yoda, we do a 12-day Christmas movie night. I wrap up the movies in a bag, wrapping paper, and each night we watch a movie together with it ending on Christmas. I think I'll do the same for Easter as well. I feel like there needs to be something for Easter that you anticipate like you do Christmas morning. And I guess you kind of do because you do the Easter egg hunts and the Easter egg baskets and stuff like that, but there's got to be something like different. Something that like is a big anticipation that is focused on Christ, but also something that just everybody looks forward to, like some kind of like activity or something. Goblin, the piano guys do a song titled The Mission, How Great Thou Art, and the video that goes along with the song is amazing. You should go watch the YouTube video. Are you for repeat too? I really enjoyed the Illumination version of The Grinch from 2018. They played actual Christmas songs like God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen. Cecilia Martinell. Wendy Nelson is from Raymond, Alberta. Yep. Uh, Sean Romack. Zoe, alongside her sister that played in Bones, was raised Roman Catholic. Jay Kennedy, I love what Wendy Nelson teaches to constantly ask ourselves, what would a holy woman or man do? What would be a nice focus of Holy Week? Or that would be a nice focus of Holy Week, to really focus on change and sanctification. It'd be nice to, I think, like incorporate some of the already existing traditions, like I was saying earlier. If you took the Passover, the way that the Jews celebrate it, um, and do it in maybe like a similar way, and then possibly do what some of the other Christians do on these days with Palm Sunday and what is it, Ash Wednesday and stuff like that, and maybe just like consolidate all those traditions together or something. Daniel Hershey, maybe do an Easter play or pageant. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think that's probably something that one of the things that Elder Stevenson uh, asked for somebody to do. Something along those lines. Christopher W. Walker, Matt Mayer, Christ is Risen, great Easter morning song. Are you for repeat two? Change Easter colors to white, cream, and gray instead of pastel colors. I'm all about replacing the pastel colors because it's just how I grew up. I kind of like associated it with just, I don't know. It's like hard, it's a very abstract kind of idea. The only way I can like describe it is kind of like frumpy, kind of just like too. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know. I'd be happy if the colors were reset, revamped in some kind of way. Lorraine Moore, awesome ideas. You can see the Book of John acted out on YouTube. Powerful. Cynthia Torres, Jesus is such a center part of our church, and I'm curious of why we didn't make Easter a big enough holiday in the first place, but I'm glad we are doing it now. Well, I think it just has to do with I think like the big things about Christmas and why it's so big, and I'm just being brutally honest, is because of presents, and then all the other fun things that go with Christmas, sledding and snow and Christmas trees, and um, just over centuries of time, just all these traditions kind of built up, and the same thing didn't really happen with Easter. And I think that a lot of us Latter-day Saints, we have appreciated what Easter is, but it's like what they're wanting us to do is through these different things like art and plays and music and whatever, they want us to like somehow revamp Easter, which I definitely think it can be done. It'll be, I guess it'll just be interesting to see what happens going forward. But a call has been put out for us to do that with Easter. And that would probably really make us shine to the rest of the world. If we like really, if the church came up, if members of the church came up with like really powerful Easter traditions that are fun and exciting and inspirational and all that, you would kind of make us like a light to the world as far as like Easter goes. Like, oh, look what they do in their church. Like, that's really neat that they do that, and maybe we can incorporate that into our tradition. You know what I mean? I think it's possible. White Willows Academy, pastels are beautiful representations of spring and new life. Well, let's see. Pastel color palette. So, I mean, yeah, they are. With Christmas, it's really easy. It's just simply red, white, and green. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. It'll probably stay that way. Pastel probably won't go away. Like this one right here, like these colors, like the pink and purple and blue, and it feels like little kid like, or I don't know. I can't adequately express the way that I feel, so I'm just gonna move on. Um, TL says red center color is remembrance of the bleeding from every pore, and white symbolizes the completion and wholeness of his sacrifice. Yeah, that I feel like that would fit pretty well. But then again, those colors would kind of like compete a little bit with Christmas colors, but I guess not because Valentine's Day it's all like red and white and pink. I don't know. Cheryl L. Easter has been a huge tradition in our family as a kid, and me as a mother and grandmother. The haystack. I'll make a video for our traditions. I did a St. Patrick's Day video about honoring the true meaning. Critzy for pastel girl. I told you, Critzy, I can't adequately express what I'm trying to say, so I'm just going to give up. Ryan Morelli, I wish you in exaltation. Okay, whoa, what? We wish you in exaltation. We wish you in exaltation. We wish you in exaltation and a Merry Easter. Kimberly Green Bell or Cherine Bell. Why be so adamant that it can't be regular Christian Easter traditions? Keep all mine as a convert to the church. Never understood why Easter was not the predominant. Does it have to be different? No, I guess not. I don't know, but he wants us, or they want us to like up our game. I guess celebrate it more fully or something. Sandra Floor, did you notice the colors of the flowers at the conference center, especially the hyacinths outside? No, I didn't. Okay, well, I think I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm a little bit tired, a little bit exhausted. It was a good conference, and we're gonna have to look at all the different implications of everything that was said. Wait for those talks to come out on the church website. Look at the footnotes and kind of like reread through some of those things, and um, I think it'll keep us busy until the next conference. If there is a next conference, let's hope that something happens before then. Remember, things right now in Israel are pretty crazy, and actually, there's been some stories about tensions rising because there was like a Palestinian that was shot or something like that, and this was like during General Conference, and it seemed to kind of make things flare up. Also, Ben Gavir's National Guard proposal. It's the Israeli government approves far right minister's proposal for National Guard. So that's happening right now. This would be basically, from what I understand, a new kind of force. A lot of people are against it, especially, the left and stuff like that. So the creation of this force, could it stoke the flames? It seems like it probably will. It says Itamar Ben Gavir says force will focus on Arab unrest as police chief voices concerns, and opposition figures denounce it as a militia. So, anyway, crazy things are happening in the world right now. And it's probably just going to continue to be a really interesting year, frankly. All right, I'm going to take off. Thank you, everybody, for joining me and joining all these live streams. If you missed one of the past live streams, maybe go check it out if you want more. We talked about each session individually afterwards, so you can check that out. And then tomorrow I'll just keep moving forward with doing videos. I got a lot of things I need to do, especially after watching this conference. So hope you guys have a good night.